In case you haven't noticed, there are very distinct differences between the races, between the way people think, the levels on which they think, the levels in which they think beyond. There's a reason for that, a very good reason. Everybody who's walking around in black skin, we don't think the same. We don't think as far as one another. There are people who think on certain levels. There are people who think on totally different levels, and certain people think on higher and advanced levels. Right? Certain people are regular. Certain people are ordinary. Certain people are extraordinary. What distinguishes this capability? The ability to receive advanced ways of thinking, higher intelligence. That's what differentiates you from the regular person, the average person. Now, I know a lot of people in the society, they'll think, oh, I'm into Sirius A and Sirius B, and I think about the universe and things like that, and Egypt and no, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. That has become very regular. That has become very natural to look at these things and be in awe of these things. That is in the realm of natural, a natural mindset. Right? You have people who can actually see beyond that, people who are being produced, who are thinking on an advanced level beyond this society, beyond this existence, beyond this world, who are on another level, who are looking into the future, who are being able to start to look into different dimensions and actually see into the future and live their lives according to that evolution and that image that they are receiving. They're starting to shape their lives into the future. They're no longer living for this world. They're preparing themselves for the next. They're preparing themselves for the world that we're going into at this moment. When I say the next world, I'm not talking about no heaven, and I'm not talking about some so-called spiritual place. I'm talking about an actual physical world that we're going into, a futuristic state. And these people will continue on into these dimensional states. These are the people I refer to as your supernatural people. These people who are in tune mentally to receive these images to move forward. Your natural people are the people who are only going to go but so far in their way of thinking, in their evolution, before they go into a revolution, into a circle, and loop right back into those same rituals. Right? These are your religious people, your cultural people, all the things that are of today. Your spiritual people, all the things that are of this modern day world. They're going to loop right back in. These are your natural people. And then you have your unnatural people. Your people who are running around in the earth doing all sorts of unnatural things. Homosexuality, lesbianism, all kinds of weird ways of thinking and tattooing themselves up, all this unnatural stuff. Writing all over their body, growing hair all over their face, all kinds of unnatural things. Things that we're not supposed to be, that people who are natural are not supposed to be indulging in, and people who are supernatural are not supposed to be indulging in, because they're supposed to think on a higher level beyond these things. Yes, the supernatural person or being is one who thinks on a higher level, an advanced level, who is beyond the unnatural and the supernatural people. I'm going to give the breakdown on who these people are. By race, by creed, by color, by defined state. And I'm going to go into the descriptions of these people tonight. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkares, and this is State of Mental Radio. And tonight, the unnatural, the natural, and the supernatural, the three types of people on the earth that God, Amen, the true and living God, placed here. Because make no mistake about it, this is not a belief. This is not an ideology. This is not a philosophy. See, a lot of people would like to write off real intelligence, true knowledge as trivial belief, as a trivial philosophy, so they can throw it in the pile with all the regular teachings. No, this knowledge and intellect is only going to be for the elect, because they're going to be able to tune in on a higher level. This is only going to be for the supernaturals to understand or have an ultra standing of, right? Because those who are in the natural world, those people who are of the natural earth, those people who believe they come from places like Africa and that their life starts in Africa, like I said, this is going to be over your head because you are of this world, because you actually believe you started on this planet. You actually believe you came from the soil of this ground. That means that your intelligence does not go beyond here. You are not linked in to that higher intelligence that goes beyond this atmosphere, that goes outside of this circle into a continuous state, into an eternal world, which is where all the intelligence is being sent from into this atmosphere. And it is being converted into information for you to slow down the intelligence of the people here. Only a chosen few people are taking the pure intelligence and are utilizing it, i.e. your unnaturals, your elite unnaturals are taking it, who you call your Illuminati and things like that. They're taking this intelligence and using it for themselves and then converting it into information for you to slow you down purposely, to keep the naturals in the rotation, to keep these things like racism and things going back and forth, to keep you keep this thing going between the naturals and the unnaturals, right? Who are the unnaturals? The unnaturals are your human race. The unnaturals are your East Indians, your white man, your Caucasians, and your Asians, right? These are your unnatural beings. Why are they unnatural? They are unnatural because they were created. Anything that's created, anything that is put together by using two different elements to create something new, to create a hybrid, is artificial, is unnatural. It's like plastic, right? Like fiberglass or like styrofoam. That's unnatural. But certain real elements had to be put together. Certain real elements had to be put together to produce that. Certain real elements had to be put together to produce these elements, to produce these unnatural elements. Okay? That is your human race. Your human race was an amalgamation of animal parts and those God beings. Those single-celled amoebas that were tossed into the water, that came out of your reptilians, that came out of your hybrid, who bred a hybrid sort of animal, which you see walking the planet Earth, to your aquatic apes, right? Because there is a timeline where your animals were created, and from your animals came your humans. And your God beings, or your God race, the ones who created this whole thing, created the planet, created and started everything in motion, started the engineering of things, because you get these scientists who talk about the Big Bang Theory. They don't realize that all of that was engineered. It just didn't happen. Nothing just happens. Wherever there's an order, there's an intelligence. There's a thinking mind or a group of minds that is engineering this in order for there to be an order. Right? So when the unnaturals were created, right? Created on this planet, just like a science project, just like a scientific experiment, because that's what your human race is, with genetic flaws, genetic defects, right? From splicing the almond genetic or the God genetic with the animal genetic that was developing out of the reptilian genetic, the hybrids of the reptilians, your animals that walk the earth today, your aquatic ape or your ape man, right? You produced your human race, your beings that came out of water, the ones who have hair that fall down and grow down to the earth, your gravitational beings, your East Indians, your white man, and your Asians, right? Then you have your natural beings, which are your black race, your so-called Negroes, the ones who are actually from your places like your Africa and things like that, who have that come from that area, because your Africans are the people who you call Africans, who came from that area, who the white man where he called that area Africa. You had these people that were created from that land. They were your first artificial people from the God race, from the almond beings, from the bright race. They were your first artificial beings, because the God beings, the almond beings, took their genetic and spliced it with the reptilian genetic or the dinosaur genetic that was still in the planet, the DNA that was still there in the planet once they destroyed the reptilians. They spliced their genetic with the reptilian genetic, and what you had is your Africans or your primitive almond beings. You understand? This is why, if you notice, there's a difference between us and your Africans. They're more aggressive. They're more drawn in by eating heavy animals and heavy beef, and they have a heavy blood and starch diet because that's the reptilian genetic in them. You understand that? Heavy starch and blood diet. Then you have the supernatural beings, the people who were supposed to be on the scale to becoming supernaturals. Those are the people who came straight from the bloodline of the almond beings, straight from the bloodline, straight from the genetic of the almond beings, the God race. However, our evolution started in Egypt. This is why we were separated from the Africans, purposely. We were set aside from the Africans in the West, and we were placed in the East by the almond beings, by the God race, to build a whole nother society, a whole nother kingdom on earth. You understand? And those people who were separated from the Africans, those people who had the bloodline, straight bloodline, pure genetic of the almond beings and the God race, they erected empires, kingdoms, governments in the name of Amen. Though Amen had different names over time, it came to them, and he came to them, and they knew him as Amen. He came as a physical man. They came as physical beings to this world. This is why your Egyptians and your Sumerians and all them erected statues and wall carvings to these Amen beings. They came in the person of people. God beings, advanced beings, future beings came to them in the past to speed up their evolution. While the first two genetics or the first two beings on the planet, the unnaturals and the naturals, were going through their own evolution slowly, because all three evolutions were taking place: your human evolution, your black evolution, and your bright evolution. Your unnaturals, your naturals, and your supernaturals. The supernaturals were supposed to be the ones who would become gods on earth, who would become the receivers, the emissaries of the God race, the Amen beings. This is real. Your Africans, they were in tune with nothing. This is why you look at their society and they built nothing. Right? When your unnaturals came out of the caves and came out of the mountain ranges, they came amongst those beings who were becoming supernatural, who were going into that supernatural state, who started advancing. They came amongst the Egyptians and the Nubians and all the people who were building societies, and they started to copy them. Right? They didn't go amongst the Africans. They went amongst the Africans later, and they took them as slaves, and they went amongst them and took natural resources, but they didn't go amongst the Africans because they didn't learn nothing from them. They went amongst the people who were society builders. Right? Now, we were supposed to be, those of our people who ended up here in America, we were supposed to be the first ones here to set up a government in America through the Olmecs. You understand? Because that was the continuation of the Amen genetic through the Olmecs. We lived amongst the Africans after the Romans and the Greeks came in, and we got chased out of our land, our regions like Egypt and Sumeria and Mesopotamia. We went to live amongst the Africans in the West. We went down amongst them. Right? And when we went down amongst the Africans, we separated ourselves from the Africans and a lot of things they did. But in all actuality, we were supposed to go and come here from the east to the west into America through the Olmecs and set up a government here in America. We were not supposed to go amongst the naturals or the Africans. We were not supposed to go amongst the natives. Even when we were in Egypt and places like that, we didn't go. The only time our people, the Nubians and the Egyptians, went to Africa was to take things like gold and things that we needed. But we didn't go amongst the Africans because they were too primitive. And the place in Africa was a jungle range. Now, I know to a lot of you Pan-Africanists that are hearing this, you go, oh, that's a bunch of BS. Why he's saying that about Africa? Because it's the truth. You know how you know that? Because for all you people that sit up here and talk about Africa even to this day, why don't none of y'all go over there and live? Why are y'all still here in America trying to be so-called Pan-Africanists? Why do you enjoy the luxuries of living here in America? Because by nature, you come from a a structured, organized place, a government just like this. This is what Egypt was. This is what Nubia was. Nubia and Egypt and Sumeria and all those ancient civilizations that we really came from, it's just like America today. That was the America of the day. We didn't come from any jungles. We didn't come from any grass huts and stuff like that, because if you did, it would be easy for you to go back and live over there. And don't give me this crap about, because we've been under the white man, and we've been living in America, that we've been colonized, so we don't want to live there. That's BS. That's BS. Because even when y'all go over there to Africa, y'all still don't feel comfortable amongst the Africans. And when they come here amongst you, they don't want to be with you. So obviously there's a difference. And they don't know the difference. But tonight we telling the difference. They are your naturals. They are your natives. When a person says they are natural, what they're actually saying is they are of the land. When you're supernatural, you are above the land. You understand that? In other words, when you're saying you're natural, that means you're terrestrial. When you're supernatural, you're celestial, meaning you're not from here. So for all you people that feel this connection or this tie, you understand, with Africa, then that means you have the African bloodline in you. Because a lot of you niggas over here, a lot of y'all people over here, y'all got things like sickle cell anemia in your bloodline from the mixing of the Africans. Because of those mosquitoes, because they got that from the malaria, and they developed the sickle cell trait to cut the malaria away. But then after they wasn't around the mosquitoes no more, then that sickle cell kept cutting into their natural cell, and it was destroying their regular blood cells. You understand? This is real. This is real. That's why it says God left a remnant of his people here on earth. God left a bloodline remnant of his people here on earth through the 200 fallen angels and the 200 fallen messengers. That's a real story. That's a real account. I don't like to say story. It's a real account. You understand? That's a real account. You look at the Africans today, and don't sit up here, all people who are of the God race and of the God genetic. You know damn well y'all don't have no tie or connection with the Africans. You don't feel no connection with them people. There's a reason why. Because they are of the land. You're not. You're not of this world. Are people who feel that connection. Like I said, for you Negroes that went and lived over there in Africa, and you stayed amongst the Africans, and you intermarried, that's because you got African blood in you. You are of the naturals. You are of the land. You are terrestrial beings. You understand? But for our people who don't feel no connection with them, who look at places like Egypt and even beyond Egypt, you understand? Because Egypt was supposed to be the door that we was looking through, but now we're supposed to be going beyond that. Those of you who don't feel that connection, you're not of that bloodline. You're not of the God bloodline. Because you have the reptilian genetic in you, because the reptilians are of the land. You understand? They were of the land. They were here. You feel a connection to the land. That's why you end up like the white man. Y'all always fighting over land, and you Moors. Like I said, a lot of you guys got African in you. You always talking about land this and land that and land this and land that. When nobody owns the land. You sitting up here arguing with the white man about the land. Nobody owns the land. Because y'all all one thing that you know about the land, y'all all going to be under it soon. Y'all all going to be under the damn land in a minute. All of you, the white man, the black man, all of y'all. But the bright man, we're going to be above it. The bright woman, we're going to be above it. God, Amen, the true and living God, left his bloodline and his genetic on earth. So I tell my people, when I said y'all not African, I said I was speaking to my bright race. I wasn't talking to the black race. Because a lot of y'all got the bloodline of the Africans. Y'all linked to the Africans. That's why you key into that name African. You understand? Notice the Egyptians and the Nubians, they used to say they was descended from gods. They said that. So why did they say that back then? They said they were descended from God. They didn't say they were descended from no Africa. They said they were descended from God. What made them say that back then? And what makes you niggas say now that you descended from Africans? Maybe some of you feel a connection to the Africans. So that makes you natural. That makes you of the earth. That makes you limited. That makes you limited to customs and rituals and religions and things like that, and voodoo and Shango and Mashange, whatever the hell you niggas are talking about. Ashe and Hotepin and all that. That makes you guys native to that. But see, the people who are celestial beings, people who know they are connected to the Amen beings, the God race, the future beings, who know that that name is not from Egypt. It is a celestial name that went through Egypt. You understand? The people who know this. We know we connected to something else. We know we come from the bloodline genetic of the God beings. And the God beings are not Africans. Africans were part of the creation. You understand? They were part of the creation. They were your first animated people. You understand? That's why, if you notice, the white man feels more comfortable with the Africans than he does with our people. Why is that? Now, you would say to yourself, damn, the Africans look more rougher than us. They got the BB buckshot hair. They funky. They look, they look crazy. Some of them. But the white man will go be right with them. Go live with them in huts and everything. Because they all the same genetic. They relate to them. You understand? They relate to them. The cradle of where God put his creation, Amen, was in Egypt, was in Nubia, was in Sumeria, was in Mesopotamia. No God cared about no Africa. Africa was a place for gold to grow and for animals to run and for the created beings to live. Africa was no different than the white man in the caves and up in the Caucasus Mountains. The Africans and the white man are the same. Same primitive mindset, same primitive nature. They learned all of this. When you talking about the white man and them talking about civilization and whatnot, they learned civilization from us in Nubia, in Egypt, in Sumeria, and other civilizations way before they came in contact with us. They started coming with us, and they started learning learning how to build government and govern themselves in a structured order. Where else they learned that from? Because they was coming out of the caves and they was hitting each other over the head with damn clubs like cavemen. Where else they learned that from? They didn't learn it from the Africans. The Africans running around in Africa with their ass hanging out. The women with their breasts out. That's what they was doing. Some of them was even doing homosexuality and lesbianism. You can go and look at that right now, and you'll see the Africans doing in their little ceremonies. They doing homosexuality, bending each other over, but they don't call it homosexuality. So that had to be an off mind. That had to be an off mindset. That had to be a race of people who were off mentally. Right? We not like that. There's a difference between us and the Africans. You can see that. But the white man, he insults you by calling you African American. And he knows, and he does that because he wants you not to never, he'll call you an African American. Notice that, but he'll never say that you Egyptian or you was a Nubian, that you was from those people. He'll never say that. They'll be black as the ace of spades and whatnot, broad noses and everything, but he'll never connect that to you. He'll take credit for that. He'll lie behind them, say they was Eastern, but he'll call you an African with no problem. Why is that? Why is that? Because he never wants you to know that you were the first ones to set up governments on this planet. That you were the first ones, you were the supernatural beings, because he's trying to actually replace you right now as the supernaturals. Why do you think he put shows on like Supernatural and he showed the white man and they showing their face? He's showing you images like Superman and whatnot and X-Men and all these. He's trying to show you supernaturals in his image. But he makes sure not to show you. You understand? He makes sure not to show you because he doesn't ever want you to imagine yourself like that or get that image in your head for some reason. He wants you to think that you was just a monkey chaser and a tree climber. That's what he wants you to think. You understand? He wants you to believe that you're part of the human creation. And some of you are. That's why you will never accept this knowledge of the elect. That's why I said that the 144,000, it didn't include every black person. It included an elect group because the majority of you are of this earth. A lot of you are of this world. A lot of you people who desire to be amongst the rest, doing everything from tattooing yourself up to smoking weed to being out here being a homosexual and a lesbian and all the stuff you doing. When we talk against this stuff or talk that how we not following stuff, or why he talking like that, it sound like he preaching. That's the first thing you niggas say out your mouth. It ain't got nothing to do with preaching. That's right thinking. You understand? Because the supernaturals, we don't go against the first thing, which is super nature or nature, because you guys supposed to be natural, but you going against that. As natural people, you going against that. The black man, the black woman supposed to be natural, so-called natural, but look at what y'all doing. You doing unnatural things. Why? Because natural and unnatural slide back and forth. Same way good and bad slide back and forth, natural and unnatural slide back and forth. That's why they can get you, you black men and black women, be gays and lesbians, tattoo yourself all up, get all high on drugs, listen to rock music, get drunk till you about to pass out, eat bad foods, all the stuff you niggas doing. You know, riding on roller coasters upside down, all kind of madness. You understand? Because you just like the white man. You just like the unnaturals now. Y'all switching out places. You understand? You switching out places. You know, eating swine. You know, kind of filthy pigs, big cows, drinking cow milk like the Africans. Here it is. They had us drinking milk. We're not even supposed to be drinking. It's no coincidence that our people are lactose intolerant. Why do the Africans, they'll drink milk right out of the cow's titty? Why do they do that? Because they're not our people. It's not the same. We're not the same people. The Africans love milk, whole milk. They drink whole milk like the white man. But our people are lactose intolerant. Why is that? We're not supposed to drink no milk from no animals. They drink milk from animals because they got an animal genetic. That's why they can drink milk from animals. They can suck off of the breast of a cow and drink the milk directly from there and won't get sick. Because they got animal genetic. You understand? Or that reptile genetic where they system, they got a heavy acid in their stomach, like animals. Your Africans got heavy acid. That's why they can eat heavy cows and beef, and they don't get sick. You niggas over here in America, y'all eat that, y'all get all kind of cancer and things like that. You get bloated. The Africans can eat that and be just fine. Y'all ain't got the same kind of digestive system as the Africans. You understand that? You could tell that we're supposed to eat light reptiles. Like, you know, we native to things like chicken and fish, birds and fish. That's native to us. Things that, reptiles that fly and reptiles that swim. You understand? We're not supposed to be eating land animals like the white man and the Africans, because those are your naturals. And your unnaturals, they eat things of the land. They eat things in nature. We're not supposed to be eating slow land animals. You understand? As those supernatural beings. Because we're not of this earth. When we talk about this, because, you know, our evolution was interrupted. When we talk about these things and we say, we talking about the future and the almond beings and whatnot. They're coming from our bloodline, on our genetic. When they talk about the elect in your book of Revelation, it's talking about that time where the supernatural is going to start realizing who they are. The elect are going to start realizing who they are, and we're in that time right now. This is the time that they was really talking about in the Mayan calendar when they said that the world would come to an end. Yeah, the world is coming to an end. Why? Because a new element is added into the world. An element that is not of this world. That element is that supernatural element, that bright race who's thinking, and their reception is higher. So whenever the reception is higher on a group of people who are entering the earth, who are on the earth, then they're going to change the dynamic of the planet. It's going to cause an upset in how things was. That's what your Mayans saw. Once 12-21-12 came in, notice 333, 12, 21, 12, 333 means 9, which means the end, and after that is 10, meaning the separation of the beginning or a new element coming in. 2013. What does the number 13 represent? The number 4, which is the fourth mental plane that we're going into right now. And they also refer to it as the next, or a new day, a new stage in life. That's what we're going into. It's all lining up. The supernaturals are going to come from amongst the black race. The same way we was yanked from amongst the Africans as the almond beings had intended, because slavery was supposed to happen, because we went into Africa, we went the wrong way. We were supposed to come out of Africa. We were supposed to come out of Egypt and come into America and set up a government under the Olmecs. We wasn't supposed to mix our seed with the Chinese who came here under a man named Hu Shen in the 4th century, and we mixed our seed with them to produce the so-called Native Americans you see here today, who are nothing but black and Chinese mixed, who ended up mixing with the white man and whatnot, and mixed out their color or mixed out that color in their skin. But those are the original Indians. We were supposed to mix with them. because the Olmecs died off. We was already on this side in South America and things like that, and we were supposed to continue a government here to what you see America today. And how you know that is because the white man, what did he do? George Washington, and what did they do? They linked themselves back to Egypt. They started saying they believed in Amen. They didn't believe in no Jesus Christ like you niggas do today. You understand? They believed in Amen. They accepted Amen as the true and living God in the Masonic Lodge. Right? And when they set the government up, how they set it up on number 33 in the Freemasonry, and they talked about the number 13, how the first stars on the flag was 13 stars, representing a new nation, and the eye of Amen was over the dollar bill. All that was symbolic because that meant that they stepped in your place because we were supposed to be setting these things up, not them. But they brought you over here to build it. That was all symbolic and meant to happen. And the Africans sold you to them. You understand? All that was meant to happen. Because we were supposed to be here building it. Or we were supposed to be here supervising them to build it. The beast, the white man. We were supposed to be supervising them to build America for us. Not the other way around. But you niggas went and you start mixing your seed with the Africans and you start getting comfortable amongst them, and the Africans didn't even want you over there with them because that's where a lot of your tribal wars was taking place. Because when y'all went over there, when we went over there and we came out of the East and we went to Africa, the Africans didn't want to mix with us. They didn't want to be with us. It was always a tribal war. That was the war. Until they eventually sold us to the white man because we didn't belong there in the first place. Same when you niggas try to push your way over into Africa amongst the Africans don't want you there. You understand? They don't want you in Africa. You understand that? They don't stand up for you in Africa because they know you not their people. But y'all still stupid trying to force yourself over here. You still trying to force yourself. You don't know that this goes way back to the beginning of creation. This goes back to the way back to the beginning of our manifestation here on the planet. Your so-called Africans hate you just as much as the damn white man do. They don't like you. They know you not their people. They are of the naturals. They are the naturals. Your unnaturals, your people who was born here, who was raised with that animal genetic. You understand? They don't like you neither. You're human beings who are pulled here on a gravitational pull, who are stuck here on a gravitational pull. You understand? They're stuck here on a gravitational pull. They're not going anywhere. They can't go outside your solar system. They can't go into outside of this world because they were created in this realm. They're stuck here. They're trying like hell. Moon, Mars, and all that, but that's all within the solar system. They can't leave the solar system. They can't go into the universe. They can't go into space. That's a lie. You got inner space, which is locked off by a solar system, and you got outer space, which is beyond the solar system. They can't do that. You understand? Because they are from here. They were created here. Why is it that your naturals are considered naturals and not unnaturals? They're considered naturals because they have more of the bloodline of the Amen being in them, for one. And number two, they have the first creation here, or the first natural beings that were planted in the water, which were your reptiles. You understand? Your animals were unnatural because they were hybrids of the reptilians. Every animal here that walks on the planet today are linked to the reptiles some kind of way. They are hybrids. When you produce a hybrid from something, I just started off telling you like plastic and things like that are hybrids of different elements, like glass and things like that. You have certain hybrids that produce plastic, natural elements that they use, that they put together to produce plastic. Certain gases and things are spent together, certain elements that they use to produce plastic, an unnatural element. You understand that? Water is an unnatural element. Water was produced here through fire and through oxygen. You understand? Water was produced here through fire and oxygen. Your white man not going to tell you that. He ain't going to tell you about that yet. That's why, if you notice, they tell you H2O. They give you the ingredients for water. They tell you hydrogen and two oxygen elements, right? How is hydrogen? Hydrogen is supposed, they tell you, is water. So how is water and oxygen going to produce water? That don't make sense. That's fire and water. You understand? Fire and oxygen produces water, heat. If you turn up the temperature on water too cold, it'll burn your skin. Will it not? If water is too cold and it's going and let it get real cold on your skin, it'll burn the skin off. You'll get a blister because there's fire in it. When they talked about people putting fire in their mouth and being fire eaters, right? Didn't burn their mouth. They said it was an illusion. No, but the elements are there. They took natural elements to produce unnatural elements. Right? They placed them together, and it produces something unnatural, a hybrid. That is your that is your natural and unnatural races, people who are native to this planet. So they had to be produced by beings that were not of this world. You understand? In other words, I can't be in the damn petri dish producing things in a petri dish. I got to be outside the petri dish, do I not? So it had to be beings that were from another world that produced this one. And yes, they left their bloodline genetic here. Why? To be overseers. And the Egyptians were your first overseers. That's why, if you notice, they were your first slave masters. Your Sumerians, your Nubians, and your Egyptians. That's why you show in the old first dynasties, they had all up until the 17th, 18th dynasty, till them niggas started mixing their seed over there. Some dumb nigga start mixing their seed. Them pharaohs over there start mixing their seed with the damn white man and the Hittites and all them people that came over there because, like I said, at that time, Egypt was like America. That everybody wanted to go to Egypt. Egypt was like the America of its day. That's why the white man, he uses the Egyptian symbols today in this society, because he knows that was a great society, and why he's fascinated with it, because that society went over 3,200 years. America is not even 300 years old. So you're talking about a society that went over 3,200 years, 32 dynasties. You understand that? At least up to 17 or 18 of them was ours. Then we started mixing in. Then we started that melting pot crap. You understand? So this all took place. You notice on the wall they had the Africans in bondage, they had the white man, they had the Chinese man, all of them they had in bondage. And the Egyptians had them and whatnot because that was the law. They had them building. They had them working. You understand? And the white man is continuing what the Egyptians was doing. Taking people's natural resources, putting people in slavery. He don't call it slavery no more, but when you go in over to a damn country and you got 14 and 13-year-old girls working in sneaker factories for 10 cents an hour, what the hell you call that? That's slavery. He's doing the same thing they was doing in Egypt that the white man was doing to build his country up. Cheap labor, taking natural resources. Now, I ain't mad at him. I'm not mad at you. You always going to have people that's going to be exploited. You got people on this planet who look to be exploited, and the intelligent ones are going to be the ones doing the exploiting. You just got a lot of stupid people on the planet, and the black man has become the stupidest person on the damn planet, and the black woman. That's why the bright ones have to come from amongst them, because we've always existed amongst the black race as those people who are not of the black race, who are of the bright race. We're not dumb enough to walk around thinking that we black. You understand? We're not dumb enough to walk around thinking we African and that we came from Africa. But a lot of y'all, this is going to go over your head, so it's not for you. Like I said, if you're saying that you come from the bloodline of God and that you came from God, that means you can't be African. That means you feel a bloodline descendancy or connection with this God race. But if you don't, and you keep saying you African, or that you come from Africa, or you Moorish or something like that, that means you from the land. You from here. You understand? So, of course, this is going to go over your head. Oh, that's BS, brother. But then I ask you, okay, well, if you come from Africa and all this other stuff, well, don't you think that a higher source or a God or something created all of this before there was an Africa? And if you say, yeah, but you come from Africa, then that means you are not from that God. You are from the bloodline or that land, or from that clay, or wherever you say that dirt, or wherever you come from. You from there. You're from there. You start there. You believe your origin starts in Africa and not from the genetics from the bloodline of God. You believe you're part of the creation and not the manifestation, the bloodline manifestation of those God beings that came here. Then that's what you are. You feel a connection to the Africans. You feel a connection to the rest of these niggas here that's doing the same things the white man is doing. You niggas sitting around here worrying about politics. You sitting around here worrying about tattoos, who you gonna go out on a date with, and all this other nigga nonsense. All the same concerns that's going on here in America. Then you with the naturals and the unnaturals. Y'all all go hand in hand. Y'all all vibrating the same mental frequency. Y'all all vibrating on the same mental frequency. Same as the naturals and the unnaturals. Like I said, if you're sitting around here talking about religion and that you follow a religion and whatnot, then that means you vibrate on that frequency. You vibrate on that submental frequency. You follow teachings that have origins. That means you don't come from a being that has no origin. Because God, the true and living God, the supreme being, and those supreme beings he came here with have no origin. You understand? They have no beginning nor an ending. Because when you say you have an origin, that means you have a beginning someplace. And if you have a beginning where you believe is in Africa or Asia, or you think you some Asiatic black man or some other nonsense, if that's what you think you are, then you are what you are. You connected to them people. You feel a bloodline connection to them people, but we don't feel that. We don't feel it. We know it's something else. We know that we're connected to something higher. And that's where we're strengthening our connection as this supernatural race, as this elect, as these mentalists, as this almond being or this almond race. Because every black man is not part of the almond race. Every black woman is not part of the almond race, contrary to what you might think. Because I got into it with this simple-minded Negro on the thing where I was trying to explain to him, right? I was trying to explain to him that when I was talking about the black race, I said that when I was making reference to the black race being of the almond beings, I wasn't talking about the so-called Africans and the black race. I was talking about the bright race, but that was too much over people's heads, so I used the word black. But I said there was three types of people walking the earth. You understand? Your humans are classified as unnatural because they were created. Your naturals are your black race because they had the first reptilian genetic in them. You understand? They were the first ones to walk the planet. So your Africans and your black power Negroes and your black power Rangers, they right when they say, oh, black people was the first people to walk the earth. Yeah, they was. They was the first people to walk the earth as a creation. But what about the black people or the so-called bright race, the solar intelligent beings, the ones who came here who were not of this land, who are not of this world? Because we getting into two different states of existence: those who were born here and those who were not. Your naturals, meaning your black race, meaning those people who know that they connected with Africa and Egypt and all, and think that they are not saying Egypt. Excuse me. Your ones who are connected with Africa and they try to make Egypt and Africa because that's the new thing now. They try to make it like Africa and Egypt is the same thing, and it's really not. They try to take the Ankh and put it on some red, black, and green flag and all this madness. You understand? When the damn ancient Kemites and the Nubians and all that, they was taking the Africans into bondage because they didn't acknowledge them as their people. You understand that? So what are y'all talking about? They're not our people. They was taking the white man, the Africans, and the damn Hittites and all them people into bondage. So what are you talking about? What is this madness that this red, black, and green with the Ankh on? Those are two totally different civilizations, two totally different cultures, two totally different ways of living. You had society builders over there on one end, and you had mud hut and tribal people on the other end. You understand? And the only reason you see anything built up in Africa today is because the damn white man went over there and built that. You understand? And that's the truth. Whoever don't like it, oh well. That's the truth. And this ain't no hate talk or no hate teaching. This is factual. This is reality. This is for people who are tuned in, who can actually see beyond the white man. They ain't got to look, because that's another thing with you naturals. You tuned into the way of thinking of the white man. Because if he wrote it in the book or he didn't say it, you don't acknowledge it to be true. Even though you can see, the people who are in tune, the bright ones, could see this see this truth in front of their eyes. You could see it based on the descriptions I gave. They could see it. But I guess a lot of you naturals, you need the white man to fill in the blanks. You need him to tell you, oh, that's not true, or yeah, that's true, or yeah, that's true. And then you could go point to a book because he's still your master. Whatever he say, you believe. Whatever he say, you accept. You understand? But those people who are in tune with that God race, with those almond beings, those people who are meant to move into the future, the elect that was prophesied in the book of Revelation, they coming out of the black race. They are your supernatural people. These are the people that are going through this great mental awakening. But when they starting to realize that, no, I'm not part of the black race. No, I'm not part of the conscious movement. No, I'm not part of Egyptology. No, I'm not part of these general everyday niggas that's out here tattooing themselves up, trying to go on casual dates, trying to smoke weed all day, or want to be with some hip-hop nigga, or want to be like the white woman, or want to be like Mary J. Blige with blonde wigs on, because like I said, y'all all the same, man. Y'all ain't no different. You ain't no different. You just like the white man and the rest of the humans. Y'all ain't no different. I don't care how much you sisters grow your hair out into afros, because that's really just a style with a lot of you. That's just a damn hat, a new hat you put on your head. That's all they really come down to, because in another few months or another few years where it's not popular no more, then you're going to go right back to the perm or wig or weave on your head. No, we're talking about beyond that. Beyond that. You understand that? We're talking about beyond that. A lot of you can't tune into this because this frequency is too high. It's not for you. A lot of you are still black. A lot of you are still connected. A lot of you still mixing your seed. Those of you seed mixers out here, and notice it's you natural sisters, you nature niggas, you Africans, you people. Y'all mix y'all seed with the white man. You mix your seed with the Chinese man. You mix your seed with the East Indian, because y'all all the same. But the supernaturals, we ain't mixing our seed with none of y'all. None of y'all. Why is that? Why is it that y'all have no problem, especially you natural sisters? Notice how they talk all that black natural stuff, and the sisters braiding their hair, wearing their hair in afro, but you see more of them with the white man. Why is that? Because y'all the same, because you got that African blood in you. And the white man, he loved the Africans because they savages, like him. They savages. Same savage people, different sides of the rock, different sides of the damn club. You understand? Y'all love to be in the club with the white man. Y'all all the same. You Africans, you so-called people who call yourself African Americans, y'all all the same. You understand? Same origin, same people of the land, same people of the earth. You understand? Same people that mess up the earth. Same people. That's why you got no problem mixing your seed. That's why you got this problem about love this and love that and whatnot, and love this and love that. Look what you did with your love. Look at what you did. You told nothing but lies because you are of this world. You do nothing but spin lies in a rotation because you were born in a rotation. You were born in a revolution. You were born here. You black men, like I said, you so-called bright, you bright men who are coming out of this realization, you starting to realize that you're not black men. You're going to wake up and find out you married to black women. You're going to find out you got a black woman next to you. And that's going, and some of you going to start realizing that right away, that you ain't got a bright woman with you, one who is not up. You're going to find out, when you find out your woman is of this world, you'll know she's a black woman because she's of this world. She's got the same concerns as the rest of the damn black race. She want to be like the white woman. She want to perm her hair. She want to read those books. She want to do the same things a white woman do, but just like I said, a shaded version. She wants your kids to go to their schools. She wants your kids to grow up in regular society amongst them. That's what she wants. You understand? As soon as they get a little bit of money, they want their kids amongst them. They want to live amongst them. They want to be with them. They want to mix with them. They want to go where they go because they carry the same genetic. They are of this world. Those of our bright people who are not of this world, you're not going to be able to connect with them because as you black men and as you sisters wake up who are with these black men, who you realize that you bright women, because I'm just going into describing what it is when you look at these niggas after a minute, when you start waking up and looking at them and you be like, why am I with him? He's not on my level mentally. Or why am I with her? She's not on my level mentally. Or when they start acting funny and they start distancing themselves from you, you'll know why. You'll know why. Because trust me, this is the year for a lot of your black relationships to break up. Because at least one out of 10 persons in those black relationships is a bright man or a bright woman. You are of that solar intelligent race, and y'all going to break up. You're going to get away from them. You know? You're going to break up. You're going to get away from the earthbound people, the terrestrial people, the people who are caught up in this world, because you're going to be looking beyond that. And I'm not talking about you space cadet niggas who sitting up here talking about Sirius A and Sirius B. I'm not talking about that. Or you niggas that's fascinated by Star Trek and space talk. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you people who have a real bloodline connection with these almond beings, with this bright race. You understand? Where it's not just some fascination. This is not no fantasy of the white man or any book. So if you came here looking for fantasy talk and talk of the white man, you think that's what this is, go someplace else. Go someplace. This is not for you. This is real talk for the bright race, the ones who are coming out of the black race, who are evolving away from the black race, because you're realizing that you're not of this world. You're realizing that you're not terrestrial beings, but you're celestial beings. You'll find your genetic and your bloodline, you understand? You'll find your genetic and bloodline off of this planet, not here. That's the difference between the bright race and the black race. That's the difference between the naturals and the supernaturals. Just like you have a conductor, you have a superconductor. What's the difference? One goes longer. One continues. One stops, one continues. The black race is meant to stop here on Earth, just as the white race is, just as the human race is. But your bright race, your superhumans, your almond beings, which are really superhumans, your almond beings, your supernaturals, your superconductors, we keep it moving. Whether we on Earth, whether we go into another planet in the solar system, whether we go into another continent, we don't get caught up in that sort of thing. But you Pan-African niggas who just can't get your head up out of Africa. You understand? Yeah. But you can't get your head up out of Africa. You can't get your head up out of this fight with the white man for land and whatnot, like two ticks fighting for space on a dog. You trying to fight with him over land. And like I said, y'all both going to be up under it pretty soon, so it don't even matter. You know? Y'all both going to be up under it soon. What does it matter? You understand? What does it really matter? The people that's looking beyond that, they understand this. Even your white man, the ones of them who are trying to evolve in a sense, notice they're not looking to argue with you about what place they got on the planet. What is the white man doing? He's trying to go to a whole nother planet. He ain't arguing with you about Africa, and he don't give a damn about that. They don't raped Africa already. They don't took what they wanted. They're going to keep taking what they want to take. They don't care about it. You stupid niggas sitting around talking about going back to Africa, and yeah, we could still build up while it's time, but you still here with a white man name. Why is that? Why are you still here with a white man name if you talking about Africa? Because it's just talk. It's just talk. You don't want to be amongst your African brothers and whatnot and your African sisters. You want to be here in America amongst the white man with his name, with his mark on you, with the mark of the beast on you, his name, his mentality. You understand? A lot of you done went from natural to unnatural. You done dropped down. That's why you got no problem mixing your seed with the beast. That's why you got no problem following their ways, their homosexuality, their lesbianism, their tattoos, their weirdness. You understand? They queer eye. You got no problem following that. But that's, like I said, that's the black race. That's where y'all at. I'm going to take a call. 510, you on there.
Peace, Newman.
Peace.
Man, somebody say word. Somebody say word. Somebody say word, man, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody say word. So I'm telling you, man, I know when I used to be in my frantic, fanatical reading stage, man, what you're saying tonight, I'm telling you, bro, I read it in an ancient mythology from the Library of Alexandria in Canada. I'm not going to speak too much about it because I can't give. It's locked in my basement in my library, and I can't remember the name of the book or what have you. I'm telling you, man, in the book it called the Africans counterfeit spirits, those that look like you but are not of you.
Mhm.
And, man, I swear, bro, somebody got to say word to this shit, bro, because it's all coming back full circle, man. It's all coming back.
No, it ain't coming back. It's going forward, and it's breaking the circle. It's going. We going beyond the circle. It's breaking. It's going full speed ahead. See, because our evolution got interrupted in Egypt. That was the damn problem. Whenever we start mixing in with the Africans or the damn human race and whatnot, the bright race gets slowed down. See, that was the problem when the Egyptians brought the Africans over there, when they brought the Hittites, the white man, the East Indians, the Chinese, all them over there, and they started, and like I said, the Negroes got soft over there, saw some of their women, so they started, you know how the nigga do, he wanted to mix his seed, you know what I mean, even the bright man, because that goes back to when the 200 fallen messengers came down here. What did it say? They came here and they took all the women they saw to be fair, and they took them, and they went in unto them and had children with them. So that's where the seed mixing started. That's a real account. That's a real account.
When I say coming back, though, I'm saying that things that were like presented to me before and things that came to me before, they coming back through you. You're saying them. That's what I'm saying. I'm hearing them from you. You know what I'm saying? And, to me, that just means, this was supposed to happen. This was supposed to happen.
Yep.
I'm going in the direction that I was supposed to go into. You feel me? I swear, man, this shit crazy, bro. So much, almost basically everything that you're saying, it's crazy how it's just coming right back to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I've just from just my journey, but no one has ever said it, and then here you come saying it, bro. Somebody needs to say word for real in the chat room. Somebody say word.
I guess they don't say word. Son Shabazz said 43 said word.
Shabazz, peace, brother. Hey. Shabazz, peace.
Okay. All right.
Man,
so let me take these other calls. Thanks for calling in, Reg. All right. All right, peace. I'm gonna take the next call in. 757. 757, you on the air.
Peace, Nubin. It's Shabazz. Everybody, please listen to Nubin, man. I don't want to weird you out here, but, this morning I was just standing outside, and I just had a feeling like, I looked directly at the sun, and it had, no effect on me. For the first time in my life, I looked directly at the sun, and it was like nothing. It wasn't hurting my eyes or nothing. It was like I was just looking directly at it. And I just started getting scared, like, whoa, something's going on. So then I looked away and I tried to look back at it. Then it started having that effect, like it's too bright or whatever. But for 5 seconds, it was like, man, I wasn't looking at nothing. It was just bright, just pure light coming through me. And all I could think about was when you said there's no such thing as too much light. And, man, I went inside and I was like, wow, man, and everything you say, man, it's just resonating. And, just like Reginald said, man, it's the journey. It's the steps and it's the things that we go through and the things that we learn, and then we come and then we find out, the message is right on time, and a lot of people got a misconception, like, man, if this is the truth, then why ain't everybody there? But like you said, it's for the elect. God only works through an elect group of people.
That's it.
Even in all the books, the prophets and all, these were select people. You know what I'm saying? Anything, like you said, anything where you see a lot of people, usually it's not where you want to be.
No.
So I just wanted to say, man, what you saying, man, you really you getting the message unfiltered and you getting it clear, and it's coming from somewhere, man. It's coming from beyond the sun, like you said. Because when I looked at that sun for about 5 seconds, and it had no effect on me, and the moon was out at the same time. I don't know if it's a full moon or whatever, but the moon was out and the sun was out in the daytime. And it was like, man, this is real, man.
Well, like I said, try when you get up to the point of staring at it for about 3 minutes straight, because I did that.
See?
And my eyes, and it didn't hurt my eyes. So
something's
happening.
Yeah, man. And that's why, like, when I looked away, it was like I had broke the concentration because I got scared. I was like, "Whoa, what's happening?" Then I tried to look back, and then I started having the same effect like before, like, "Whoa, this is too bright." But for that 5 seconds, it was like nothing. It was like looking at nothing. And then, like I said, all I could think was how you said, "Man, there's no such thing as too much light, and you should be able to pass light through your eyes." And, so, yeah, definitely, man, I would encourage everybody to listen in, get with the State of Mental, the SOM.info, and, everybody's not going to get it because, like, I refer people to your show all the time, and they say, well, I don't agree with everything he said, and that's what it is, man.
Well, they with the black race. You got certain people that's with the black race. They still with the black. They got that African in them. Like I said, trying to explain this to them is like talking to an African. An African ain't gonna get this. A pure African. So some of them got too much African in them, so they're not gonna get it. So their level of understanding is gonna be off. Like, they'll get bits and pieces of it because they got some of the almond genetic in them, but then the other part of it will be off because they got a lot of the African or the animal genetic in them. So what do animals do? Animals move in a rotation. That's where a lot of our people got it from, where the animals move in a rotation. What do animals do? They move, they go hunt, they go crap, they go eat, sleep. Ain't that a rotation?
Oh, yeah.
So that's why humans follow a rotation in the black race, because they got the animal genetic in them. Our people who are doing things beyond the regular, you understand, extraordinary things like this. Because this is over the heads of the black race. I told you, this ain't for the black race. This is for the bright race. This ain't for the black race. This is for an evolving people who are coming out of the black race. Now, this is over the black race head. All they understand is Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Pan-Africanism. This ain't more science. This is what category can I put this in? You can't put this in no category, because this knowledge, this teaching is not of this world. So you can't put it here. It didn't come on. It wasn't from here. It's not from the lies of the beast and him turn this. He didn't get a chance to convert this into information yet. This is raw and uncut intelligence coming to you right now. And if you don't have the logical capability to break this down or get it, then it's not for you. Your mind is not on this level. It's on the frequency is too high for you. You can't get it. It's the same way. Either you understand certain mathematical equations and high math and things like that, or you don't. Either you get it or you don't.
Yeah, we living in a time where it's a lot of information. I know people keep saying, "Oh man, it's just so much information," but see, what a lot of people don't get is it's a lot of information because it's a lot of confusion.
Exactly.
The more information that's out here, that's why you go on YouTube and you see all these people talking about metaphysics. Everybody got a metaphysics channel now. Everybody doing their own little explaining this and this and this, and it's the same stuff. Like
over and over again.
Heard this guy say it, and now you going off what he said, and now it's true. Now you want to get all into the this element and this planet, and
Look, they ain't doing nothing. They're not doing nothing but repeating what the white man said. I told you, the black man is nothing but a parrot of the damn white man. That's it. That's all these niggas are doing.
The sad thing, a lot of these people who are doing this stuff, this is your black race, but a lot of them they got a white audience, so they don't want to come out and fully say, you know, what they really done heard, because a lot of them, they sit there and say, oh yeah, they get their information from Dr. York, but they don't say everything that he said, because they don't want to turn off their white fans and stuff.
Of course
like that,
not.
You know, and I'll be peeping this stuff, and people don't, you know, people not looking at, like, they trying to include, and then they say things like, we are the human race, and right there, that's when I turn it off. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, because they want this inclusion and everything, because they want money. They want to increase their profit. They want to increase more their listenership, or whatever merchandise they trying to sell. So that's really what it's all about. They trying to produce more people to buy more things, so they include everybody. So they're gonna lie to you. That's how religion works. They'll broaden religion and give religion more of a broader appeal to get more people to follow it. So more people. You got blacks buying prayer beads. You got whites buying prayer beads. You got Arabs buying prayer beads, buying Qurans, buying prayer caps and kufis and all that. So that's a business.
Yeah.
You understand? That's a business.
Yeah, man.
The people who printing Qurans, the people who making prayer beads, the people making kufis, the people that's making them shawls and them robes, and that's money. And oils and incense, that's money. You understand that?
Yeah,
that's
all
what that's
money,
about.
You know.
That's what that's about. You know.
Like my thing, man. Like, you know, when I was going through my Sunni Islam phase, man, one thing I realized when I came out of that slumber is that you know, that makes you hate yourself like the absolute most. Like, it's like if you don't make a prayer time or something, you just feel like, oh, I sinned. I got to make up this prayer, and you know, and then it's like everything you do. And then if you really want to get strict on that, like, it's a certain way you gotta wipe your nose and do everything.
I know all that. I done been through it all. I know how you rinse your nose. I know I've been through it all. Like I said, those are the people who are in submission. Those are the people who were created by God. We were not created by God. The bright race is a manifestation of the Amen beings. They are a creation of the Amen beings. That's the difference. We are in transmission, or we're supposed to be speeding up or making this transmission clearer. They are in submission. That's the difference. Okay?
Yes, sir. But hey, everybody, man, just listen. Don't hear what he's saying, man. Listen to what he's saying, because this is reality, man. Like he said, this ain't no Star Trek, Star Wars, you know.
Well, like I said, these Negroes, a lot of them looking to be entertained. So, like I said, it's going to be for whoever's going to get it, who's on this level mentally, and who's ready to help and increasing this frequency. And not even these people, a lot of these people who even listen to the broadcast, like I said, you know, certain people who will listen, and they'll listen for a little while, and then they'll tune out, and they'll go right back into some Egyptology or some culture or some Africa. Or they go back to being regular niggas. You know what I mean? So they was just fascinated by the talk and fascinated by the knowledge, but they really wasn't of the bright race. And I know a lot of people like that. They'll sit up here, they'll listen, they'll tune in, they'll get open off of it, and then they'll go back to being regular niggas. They'll go right back into Egyptology, talking about outer space, talking about Sirius A, Sirius B, Africa, Egypt, or some cultural crap. You know what I'm saying? Because they think they want to trivialize this and make this just another teaching and whatnot, just so they can write it off and go to something else. But that's not what, in their mind, that's fine. If you want to believe that, that's fine. We're not interested in what you think, because the black race don't even matter. They don't matter.
Yeah. Because they worried about trying to agree all the time. You know, like I said, man, a lot of people, they don't really know what a leader is. You know, a leader is somebody that takes you somewhere, you know, takes you somewhere new. That's why when their ego gets all up and they be like, oh, we don't need a leader, we all our own leaders. But then on the other hand, you want to be all black liberation and all of this, but then you say that we don't need a leader. You know
why they say that? They only say that because they can't be the leader, because they know they ain't leading their people no place. They ain't got the stuff to be leaders. They ain't talking about nothing. So they just don't want to follow another black man or somebody who looks like them or somebody who appears like. That's the mindset of the black race. That's the black race. You understand? All based in ego and things like that. That's why the unnaturals are taking the place of the naturals. They are coming up over them mentally because they understand. I mean, they understand what the naturals don't get. The naturals still don't get it. Like I said, you guys are the naturals. You guys who going around here, like I said, hair all over your face and all over your head and big beards and whatnot. Like I said, y'all don't get it. You understand? That's why the people who don't get it. Y'all going to be past in prologue.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Y'all better be ready for the hell you gonna catch.
Yeah, well, it's already coming right now. Like I said, it's already coming right now. So, all right, brother. Let me get this other call out before I play this music. It's beautiful here.
All right, Newman.
All right.
All right, peace.
Peace. All right. Poverty Supreme. Listen, get your question in, and then we're gonna play some music. Poverty, what's up?
What's going on, my brother? I love the show. And you always doing your good work. I do get caught up. You're right. The other day, I do get caught up a lot on the blog talk debates and stuff, which is, but I was gonna ask you. This might be a hard question. I don't know. What it is as well, with me, it's just the simple fact that, I came into, I don't know if it's called consciousness, but I started to come into a lot of knowledge when I started listening to Khalid Muhammad, and then it made me start, going into more knowledge, and, I just like knowledge. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's wrong with it. And I like to discuss my theories, but because I'm around a lot of, what can I say, boneheads. I can't really. I have nowhere to vent, so that's the reason why I do what I do. But I want to ask you this question, bro. I don't know if it might be a hard question. I don't know, and it might be a weird question as well. I think it's a bit, But I'm gonna ask you why do black people, right, still fight for repatriation? But we haven't been given it. All this time, the white man hasn't given us nothing. But there's people out there who's still trying to fight for repatriation. I was one of them, but I didn't understand myself that much at that stage, and I was just following the crowd, So why do we still try and, there's people out there who still fight for repatriation, especially in Pan-Africans in England. Why do we still do it? And it's obviously evident this dead beast ain't giving us nothing. So why? Why do we do this?
Because you've been trained by these black power movements to beg the white man. You've been trained by them. See, by you begging people, a dynamic happens. What is it? That makes people more powerful. By you going and asking me for something, right? And I have the power to deny you. Does that not increase my power?
True.
A lot of these black power people, a lot of these black revolutionary leaders, they work for the white man. I'm going to just tell you straight up. A lot of these guys work for the white man. A lot of these guys have always been serving the beast. And they do this to keep you distracted. You understand? Because they know that it's going to be, the beast, he already knows that an elect is going to rise up from the black race. And they don't want that elect making connection with that God beings or those God beings and the future beings. So what they'll do is they'll produce something like Black Power, Red, Black, and Green, and they'll put all these Negroes out there to get you caught up in that, so you're not paying attention to this evolution that's taking place. If you're so caught up in that, you miss it. You understand? They keep you caught up in this struggle, this back and forth between the races when nobody, when they try and tell you, our people are supposed to be separating themselves and moving forward.
And what about all this black women feminism? I feel for me, black women.
They just following the white woman. That's all. They following the white woman. Like I said, the black people are going to follow white people. That's how that's going to be. The black race is following the white race. That's it. Today, tattoos, smoking weed, walking around with your pants hanging off, hair over your face. They following the white man now. That's all that is.
That's why they do that foolishness, I just wanted to know the motivation, because you got some of them that they're 60, they're old, and they've been doing this for 40, 30 years, you know, and I just don't understand it. I'm a youngster, and I did it for a couple of years, and I got sick of it because I'm just saying this is not a, you know, look what they're doing abroad. Like, these people ain't reasonable. They're just gonna be the way they're gonna be. Like, what's the point in trying? Why don't we just do for ourselves? I just didn't understand. I just couldn't, you know. It took me a while.
Because for somebody to come say that means that an evolution is going to take place. And black, you know, Elijah Muhammad was trying to cause an evolution in the so-called black man to produce the bright man. You understand? They don't want that evolution to take place. They want you constantly begging them for things. They constantly want you begging them, the people in power, the beasts. They want you begging for reparations, land, sovereignty. They want you doing that because when I ask you for things, that gives me power to tell you no. And they like that. That keeps their power strong. How does the generator get stronger unless you run the generator? And it's the same principle of me placing myself in authority to tell you no. You understand? When I could just go around you and be like, the hell with you, I'm going to do this for myself. Then what happens? If I'm doing for myself and I'm building for myself and I'm not even thinking about you, then what happens? You start to lose power.
True. Because, you know, all this sovereignty rubbish, and you got people in England trying this, and all they're doing is wasting the police's time, and they're wasting their own time. Because they got it on YouTube where, you know, people in England are trying this American stuff, this American more business, foolishness, and trying to say about, you know, trying not to show their license and staying in their car, and, you know what I mean? They got kids in the car, and you're there playing around with the beast. Say, you know what I mean? Why don't you just show your documents and just go on along your way? You know, these police, they don't know nothing about law, so they're trying to hit them with law things, and the police, they don't care about that. You know, and I had a go on, my brother.
No, let me tell you something. You know, our people talk about not walking around with documents and birth certificates and not having no, you know, registered. First of all, that is all necessary because, you know, if something should happen to you someplace, right? See, this is how people do. They go backwards. If something's to happen to you, if something is, you know, you get hit on the head, you get lost, or something, you turn up, or you have children out there, and nobody knows who the hell you are, right? You don't have any ID. You know what I'm saying? These people aren't recognizing that whatever, I don't know if the Moors carry ID, whatever the case is, you got no ID, or you just out here walking around, and, you know, these Moors, one day sons or daughters, something happened to them, and the police find them, and they can't identify them because you don't have any ID, you don't have a driver's license because they against driver's license, you don't have no form of ID because they against ID, then you wondering where your child is. Nobody can call. The police can't call and tell you your child is in the morgue or they lost, they've been hurt because that you don't believe in IDs. You telling you don't believe in IDs, but then you talking about your national identity. What's your identity? That don't make no sense.
Because I've got a friend out here, and he's telling me he wants his child. He wants to have his child. He wants to have a child soon, but he wants to do it, and he don't want to make them have no birth certificate. I'm thinking in my mind, like, are you serious? Because you know what I mean. No, you don't want the child to have a birth certificate. I'm thinking, I don't know where that, you know what I mean. How this child's gonna go to school, and how you gonna get benefits, whatever, from the beast, whatever.
Like said,
you know what I mean?
Well, like I said, they not in the mindset of doing anything. These people are not in the mindset of doing for self. That's not their mentality. Okay, that their mindset is not doing anything. All right, their mindset is, you know, we want to be free and we want to be some, but then we still want something. We want some land. We want something. It's all about a handout. So you know, I'm done. I don't even talk about what these people do. It's always coming from some kind of bum type of mentality, a handout, give me something for nothing. You know, it's always that mentality. You know what I'm saying? Let me get something for nothing. That's all it boils down to. That's why I don't put any energy into these people and what they do. I don't speak on the Moorish thing or the conscious move. I try not to because, you know, it's a waste of time. These people are the way they are, and that's how it's going to be. That's it. I only speak on it for our people who might be lodged in these things mentally, who are looking to come out, and showing them that there's a better road that we can be moving on collectively as we start thinking as one collective, as a bright race of people, and making that connection. That's why I even talk about these things, to show our people another way. But as far as trying to change the minds of these people or trying to talk to these people, I'm not doing that. I'm not wasting no time. And they already made their mind up. They're of the black race. Their mind is meant to stop and move in a rotation. No matter what you tell them, always going to be. Their mind is always going to be in that rotation, constantly saying the same things over and over again. It's like a broken record. It's like a, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's a broken record.
You know, again, my brother. I mean, I'm hearing alarming things like, you know, black people saying that Adolf Hitler was good. What is your thoughts on Adolf Hitler?
I don't have no thoughts about Adolf Hitler at all. I don't care about him.
Okay, I just feel that our people are losing the plot these days more and more.
Our people need to stop trying to focus on white people and focus on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So. That's my thoughts on anybody white or anybody black. I'm not concerned with neither one. I'm not concerned with, I care about as much about Adolf Hitler as I care about Malcolm X.
Is that a problem, my brother, me always wanting to attain more knowledge? Is that a problem?
No, it ain't a problem, but I mean, you trying to attain more knowledge based on what? Is that going to help you keep hearing about Egypt and Africa? That's not going to help you. Our people, this generation right now, let me tell you something. This generation right now don't want to hear about no more Africa. They don't want to hear about no more Egypt. They don't want to hear about no more metaphysics. The real people. You understand? They trying to look for what's going to better them and get them to think better, think smarter, think faster, advance, and evolve in this real day and time. They don't want to hear about a bunch of dead people that died 1,500 goddamn years ago or 1,400 years ago. Some nigga kissing a rock in a cave somewhere. Some white man with a beard kissing a rock in a cave somewhere, or somebody walking around 2,000 years ago with sandals on. Nobody cares about that. You understand? Nobody cares about that. Whether this person exists or no, nobody. Who cares? You understand? The white man is not. The fact of the matter, the white man is not giving you anything. So to just keep having this conversation over and over with, I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I'm not coming at you like that, but I'm just saying in general.
No, I've got little brothers, and I know it is pointless talking all of that. I've got, I'm the oldest. I've got younger brothers, who in and out of jail, 15,
and that's because they didn't have anything in real time to give them an example. You can't come to a young black man today and tell him, he wants some knowledge of how he gonna make his life better. Go study the Unnatural, or go read about Jesus, or read about Muhammad and his ascent into the caves, and as he was writing and he was receiving the revelation. And they're gonna be like, what? They don't want to hear that. They want to hear how can something help them in real time. They don't want to hear any examples, because all these people that talk about these examples of these prophets, their lives are messed up in some way, shape, or form. But they always want to talk about the prophets this and the prophets that. Nobody wants to hear that. That's natural talk. That's black talk. I don't talk black talk no more. I'm done with black talk. This is bright talk now. Future talk. This is what I'm interested in.
And
I'm not interested in the black people's concerns.
Can knowledge equate to intelligence? I don't think so.
No. Intelligence equates to, when I say intelligence, I'm talking about being in tune with the future and those advanced beings. By clearing out all the nonsense from your head, the information and things like that, totally giving your brain an enema. Totally giving your brain an enema from all the nonsense and the crap that was shoved in there called information. Useless information. That's what we after. We after the people who are receivers, people who already received this intelligence of the true and living God and those future beings, that Amen race. Not these Negroes that still want to run around like a broken record talking about Jesus Christ and Muhammad and Yahweh Shai or whoever the hell they worshiping, or whatever cloud god they worshiping, or some invisible God. I'm not interested. We're not interested in it. The bright race ain't interested in that. We're interested in the real. We after real power.
In some ways, I wouldn't say I'm an intelligent man. I got a bit of knowledge, and from my readings and what I've seen and know, a lot of things that you come with, right? That you say, and what you are trying to achieve. a lot of the beast has done in the sense that gathering getting all the intelligent ones in the same place and getting more future knowledge. That was a thing that was done by Himmler was trying to do that. Hitler didn't really support that. You know what I mean? So that's how I know everything that you say checks out because I've read it so much. Everything that you say checks that I know is proper. You know what I mean? It's just that you're brave enough. Whoever is giving you this knowledge, like you said, you must be getting some sort of future intelligence because you don't read no books, and everything that you say I can vouch for it. I could say who's done this. This is not.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're saying that everything you read about, you have some sort of similar. That's one thing to say that based on the things I say, there's some semblance of truth to it because you can it resonates to you because you've seen it somewhere before or bits and pieces of it. But how you pick it up, how you should be picking it up, is by your own logic, not by looking to the white man to validate anything.
No. And it's like you see what it is. It's like I've heard these things before I even heard you. So when I heard you, I was saying this guy is onto something, and I kept on listening to you. You know what I mean? Because some of your shows at first was harsh. I was listening to my woman. She was kind of killing my mind because she just didn't like certain things that you were saying, and she was just on that. So I had to just, how I am. I never ever. If someone tells me this person's not a good person, I like to know for myself. So I've never been that sort of person that you could just tell me stay away from that person. I need to know for myself.
Well,
I will treat you, normal until me and you have a problem. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Well, here's the thing. This like I said, 9 times, and no offense, 9 times out of 10, your woman's of the black race. That's why the black race is not going to like what I teach. This is for the bright race. So this is for the bright race. So I mean, looking for approval, whether the black race like this, I really don't care. Whether the white race like what I'm saying, I really don't care. Because it's not for you. This message is not for you. It's for the future beings. It's for the bright race. Like I said, the black race this is not for the black race. I keep saying this. They're not going to like this. So 9 times out of 10, if your woman didn't like nothing I said, or these Negroes up in tomorrow, I believe in some of the stuff he said, but based on what? Because certain things don't rub you the wrong way. It's not about what you personally feel. Not saying you, but anybody. It's not about what you personally feel or think. Because the black man and the black woman don't think at all. All they do is follow. They don't think about a damn thing. They'll follow a rolling ball down the street for the rest of their damn life. All right. So the black race, what the black race think or what they say, I really don't give a damn. Because they got nothing. They got no right to sit up and talk about what makes sense and what don't make sense. Because they've been following nonsensical things for over 2,000 years. Mm-hmm. So that's as far as that go. And as far as you saying that, you might have heard some of the things, bits and pieces from the white man about what I'm teaching, but you've never totally heard this until it came out of my mouth.
No, not put. I've never heard anyone put it all together like how.
Okay, all right.
The way that you're
bits and
doing
pieces
it,
because, like I said,
that's what I mean.
Putting it all together. I'm putting it all together.
If someone tries to say to me, go on, say.
It's coming all together in a clear picture to me. What was coming up in broken pieces to this planet and fragments that the white man took and put them into as information. So that's what that is.
No, I'm saying that if someone told me that Nuben Makari's chatting rubbish is spookism, I could show him elite people in the world, major powers in the world who was trying to do this, all doing this. Mm-hmm. So, I'm just trying to say I could defend you, with the knowledge that I have, I could defend everything that you're saying. Everything that you say is stuff that I have in my mind, but I'm scared to say these things to the black race. And that's why I respect you. You're just telling it how it is.
Yeah, well, like I said, they can take it or leave. They can take it or leave it. They can go ahead and I know the 9 times out of 10 they're gonna leave it because it's not for them. The frequency too high. But listen, brother, I gotta go. It's good hearing from you, Poverty. I'll talk to you another time. All right, brother?
Of course.
All right. Thanks for calling in. I want to play a little bit of music, from Jamiroquai. See, I play white people on this broadcast all the time. I play white people music and whatnot because I like good music. I don't care who make it. Black, white, blue, purple, bright. The bright race going to start making our own music called Heavy Mental in a minute. Y'all going to love this. Jamiroquai, Star Child. We'll be right back. That was, for those of you who want to know who was that artist, that was a group called Jamiroquai. 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 And the name of that song is called Star Child. I'm going to say it again. Jamiroquai, Star Child. Okay? For those of you who don't know want to know who more about that person. Anyway, now, when we're talking about the supernaturals are the first stage of your supernaturals, and the evolution of your supernaturals is talked about in that book of Revelation as the elect, or those electrified beings. That is the first stage of your supernaturals. All right, that's class one. Class one of the supernaturals are gathering right now in the state of Mentel, because nobody's talking on this frequency right now. That's why, I said we phasing out the black race. We don't want the black race, because why I say that is because the frequency amongst the black race is too low. When we're trying to beam and make that connection into that planet Amen, or what they refer to as Nibiru, as we're trying to make that connection mentally to that, you understand? We can't take people with us who's still talking about Egypt. We can't take people with us that's still talking about Africa. We can't take people with us that's still talking about some Moorish science and begging the white man for some land. We can't take people with us who still want to be in the regular world, who still want to be dating niggas, who still want to be with regular chicks. This is a community that has to be formed. You understand? This is a community that has to be formed. A family that is forming right now. You understand? This is not a game. Those of our people who are in the world, who just regular people, you just regular people of that, the natural people, you people of the land. This, you niggas, you Africans. You the Africans, you the African Americans, you want to be with the white man, you want to stay working for him, you want to live amongst him. This is for you. This is your world. You're with the beast. Your concerns, you still talking about Barack Obama, you still talking about Africa, you still talking about Egypt, you still talking about all kinds of same things. Your concerns are the same. Us in the bright race, our concerns are not the same as you. We're not interested in nothing you're talking about. We're not interested in anything you're talking about. The unnaturals, like I said, just like I said, your black race is of the human race. They were born here on Earth. Your bright race, the ones with the solar genetics, the ones of our people who have those advanced minds that can tune in to the planet Amen and receive this intelligence, like myself, the firstborn of that genetic. You understand? Because everybody else that came before that, they were receiving bits and pieces. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad is in that group. That's why Minister Farrakhan said Elijah Muhammad, he had this dream of Elijah Muhammad. He saw him on a spaceship. Now, whether it was true or not, Elijah Muhammad was the first one he started talking about spaceships and travel and things like that. So obviously he was seeing something. He had to be doing more than just repeating something Fard Muhammad said. You understand? People don't give Elijah Muhammad any credit for evolutionary thoughts that he had, that these Amen beings were sending him, because he was of that race. He was cleaning his face off, cleaning his head off, because he was trying to look like them. He didn't identify with the Africans. You understand? He stopped the Asiatic black man and stuff like that. They were saying that because they didn't know any better. They were listening to Fard, but he started going through an evolution, and this evolution continued to where we at right now, going into the future. You understand? Where we disassociating ourselves with the black race. You understand? Because the black race is here with the white race. They are of the naturals. Like I said, there will always be this battle going on with these people who are of the earth, these terrestrial beings. Your natural beings and your unnatural beings. They are of the earth. Your natural beings, your black race, are created here on earth. You understand? Your unnatural beings were created here on earth. Your supernatural beings who would receive that higher connection obviously had to come from an unlimited place. You understand? In order to receive unlimited intelligence, intelligence that's outside this atmosphere, outside this box, they had to come from an unlimited place. They had to have a genetic bloodline or a source to something beyond this. Now, this is over the black race head because they don't have that connection. Like I said, they're going to take you right back into circles, back to Egypt and Africa, and they'll try to trivialize it because they don't understand it, because they're not connected to anything. They're going to keep talking about Egypt and Africa, everything. You'll say something outside of Egypt or Africa, they're not going to get it because they're people of the land. The way they even represent in Egypt is not the real way. They're trying to represent Egypt from this false Pan-African concept. When the Egyptians, or the so-called ancient Kemites and the Nubians, they were not African. They did not consider themselves to be the same as those people over there in Africa. You understand? This whole black, red, and green with the ankh on it, that's some made-up nonsense that they came up with. Two totally different people. One was of the bright race and one was of the black. A lot of our people, unfortunately, who are of the bright race, y'all keep mistaking yourselves for the black race. That's why you go with black men. That's why you mix your seed with them. That's why you do the things of the black race, because the black race, like I said, they know different than the white race. That's why you go to Africa and be amongst them and think you African Americans and whatnot. Then, like I said, you get over there, you find out you're not like them. They don't want you over there. You understand? Because they know, even though they might not break it down the way I broke it down tonight, they know that they are of totally different origin than you. You understand that? There's a reason, like I said, it goes back to what I said. Your first slave masters, your first people who were overseers over the planet were your ancient Kemites and Nubians, not the white man. It was our people. And that's why, like I said, that's what it was on the wall when they had the Africans and the white man and the Asians in bondage, because they was overseeing them to work. They didn't have anything called work back then. It was like slavery or bondage. That was equivalent to workers. Same thing today. Same thing that continues today. You understand? But like I said, the black race is under bondage right now, and it'll always be this back and forth. Like I said, the bright race is raising right now, and that solar intelligence is starting to come amongst them. They're starting to receive that continuous way of thinking. They're starting to make that connection. Right now, as of 2012 into 2013, if you're not severing yourself from the black race, you understand, and any doings with them, then you of the black race. You're going to stay with them. You understand? The bright race are going to come amongst each other. That's going to happen. That's happening right now. The evolution has started. The year is one as of 2013. The year is one. From 2013 to 2053, the year is one. The next 40 years. Leading up from 73 to 2013 and to 2003 on to 2053, the year is one. The new day has started. And for all you people who know you of the bright race, who could hear this message, where this message resonates to you, where you sitting next to some nigga who trying to rap to you, or you sitting next to some shorty that's in your face, and you know you like, oh, I don't want this nigga right next to me. Put him out. Get rid of him. Separate yourself, because they're going to drag you down mentally. You're going to die with them. You're going to go through a mental death with them, where you won't be able to connect again, and then eventually you'll go through a physical death. So let me finish reading off these, because I got like 12 minutes left in this broadcast. I went into the origins of the bright race. I went into, I should say their origin, or where we come from, is not from here. It's from the planet Amun, which they refer to as Nibiru, or Nebu-Ra, that planet of the crossing, meaning that planet that was moving in a straight line. Even our people knew that back then, that there was a planet outside this world, outside this solar system that was moving. They knew it back then. You understand? And that's real. The white man knows that. He knows that's where all the intelligence is coming from and it's being streamed into this atmosphere. He knows that. That's where he's taking it from. He's not coming up with things on his own. Nobody's thinking of anything. He takes it and converts the intelligence into information for y'all to have, the naturals, you know what I'm saying? But the supernaturals are starting to realize that. The superconductors that are coming up. Because the black race, they nothing but conductors for foolishness now and stupidity. They're nothing but they just burn energy for stupidity right now. Their energy is used to keep the white man in power and the unnaturals in power. That's what their energy is used for. So let me go through and read these things, right? And like I said, you sisters who rocking the naturals and stuff like that, don't get it twisted, because a lot of y'all wearing these naturals and stuff like that, y'all just, like I said, y'all just like, a lot of y'all just like the white man right now. Y'all no different. A lot of y'all want to be with them. You think like them. You act like them. It's just a hat. It's just a hairstyle. If you're not connecting with the bright race and beyond that, and you not severing, because you should be in the mindset of severing yourself from the white race mentally as well as the damn black race. All right? Because you'll recognize at this time there's really that not much of a difference except for in so-called pigmentation. Yeah. Anyway, who are the unnatural people on Earth today? That's your human race, as I said. Right? Your white man, your East Indian, your Arabs, your people with the straight hair or the dog-like animal hair, the fur. That is your unnatural people who were created from a real element and an element that an animal genetic that evolved from the reptilians. That is your unnatural people today. You understand? Your human race, because they were created. They're not natural people. They're not people of the earth. You understand? Who are the natural people today? Your black race. However, your black race is part of the human race. You understand? Because they were created too on earth. You understand? But the genetic that they came from was more closer to the bright race. You understand? But they have a point where they stop, where their knowledge stops at. Because what determines the difference between the bright race and the black race is that the thoughts are more continuous. The thoughts are beyond this realm, outside this atmosphere. You understand? The connection is beyond this. The black race's thoughts don't go no further than Africa and Egypt. And that's how you know they of the black race. They are of the natural people. They people of the land. That's why they always focus on the land. All right? Who are the supernatural people? As I said, the bright race who are coming out of the black race right now. As it was spoken about in your book of Revelation, that it would be an evolution of people or an elect people who will rise out of the ashes. That was talking about this race of people that's coming up right now here in 2012 into 2013 and beyond, your elect. That is your bright race coming out of the black race. The separation is taking place right now because you, like you heard the brothers say, some of these brothers, they'll be feeling it, your sisters be feeling it, but then you with some nigga that ain't, well, he all right, I guess he all right. Why are you connecting with it and they not? Because y'all different. Y'all not the same people. Right? I said, who are the supernatural people? What is the real difference? Like I said, intelligence, the ability to receive higher intelligence, advanced thinking beyond that which is in this physical realm. The ability to receive outside intelligence beyond the planet. That is the difference between a natural and a supernatural and an unnatural. Your unnaturals, even though they jacking the power and taking the intelligence and trying to pull the intelligence with their satellites from the planet Amun, they're pulling it in to this planet. You understand? They're pulling it in so that they can take it and utilize it for what they're doing in they space travel and trying to go, even though they're traveling within the solar system, even though they're doing that, that's being utilized to for their own good, and they spitting it back out as information, adding stuff to it, giving you bits and pieces. Same way the Egyptians did, where they took knowledge from the Amun beings and they gave it out and trickled down pieces to the people that became religion, right? That became God and all this other stuff. They spit it out in bits and pieces. All right. Why? Let me see. Why are these people? Why are these people necessary today? Why are all these people necessary today? As far as the as far as the naturals, the unnaturals, and the supernaturals. Like I said, the unnaturals were made. They were brought here to work. You understand? The naturals, like I said, were also brought here to work. And your supernaturals were meant to supervise them. You understand? This is why you got a lot of our people, like I said, they'll mix into the melting pot with the beast and everybody else, and they'll have the same concerns and the way of thinking as the beast. They're not royal people. They're tribal people. They're people who think they're Africans and of the land. Like I said, the beast will come amongst them and whatnot, and they all got the same mentality because they come from the earth. You understand? The people who have a royal mentality, who are beyond the earth, they're not going to be with just anybody. They're not going to mix amongst these people. They know the difference. You understand? Though some of our people broke the law as they came down here amongst the 200 fallen messengers or angels, that account really did happen where they mixed in with the people that they started saying, took the women and they mixed in with them, which was what they weren't supposed to do. But it produced a lot of the bloodline that you see here today. You know, because they took direct bloodlines from themselves and whatnot, and they ended up cloning themselves, genetically magnifying themselves on Earth. This is why you'll see certain black people. They'll all look like certain black people, or certain bright people, I should say. You'll have different looks of people. You have people looking the same, or looking like they come from the same, facial group or racial group or same tribe, for lack of a better word, the same tribe. They'll all look the same because that person is a genetic what's the word I want to use? The genetic manifestation, or the genetic manifestation of those God beings. You know, they magnify themselves, they clone themselves, as they would say, and they left their genetic here to watch over the people that were on the earth, the created beings, your naturals and your unnaturals. You understand? So, who brought them into existence? The Amen beings. Like I said, the Amen beings begat the human beings. Amen, human. Your Amen beings, your Omni beings, the ones who you sit up here and go Om and Aum to, that's trying to tune in. That's the human's version of trying to tune into the Amen beings, or the Omni beings, the eternal or continuous beings. The ones who are moving in that world that has no bounds or no solar system. Their genetic is here on the planet, and they're raising today in the bright race and the elect. The ones who can hear that frequency, the ones who can hear this message in this day and time. Right? What is the factual proof of this difference? The way we think, the way we move, the way we communicate with each other, the way we live. You can see things and you get proof of things by looking at people, by interacting with people, by talking to people, by living amongst people, and you see the difference. You're not going to get this. You're not going to be able to break this down based on some white man's book, because a lot of you, like I said, a lot of you people, you so-called natural black people, you believe everything the white man tell you. If he don't write it in the book and he not coming as the author on something, you ain't going to accept it. That's another thing that proves that you are of this world, because you under his mentality. You understand? You can't think for yourself. You can't think beyond him. The ability to think beyond the beast and his books and his educational system, and to link into something that's called logic and common sense, and linking into that mental capability, is a Amen genetic. That is a gift of the Amen being. That is a connection with the Amen beings, to think beyond the human beings, to think beyond their authoritative system, to think beyond their so-called educational system, to actually have your own thoughts that are not linked to his. That's what's developing here in the state of Mentel. That's why when the so-called black race hears this message, they either blows their mind, or where he getting this from, or where this coming from, or where can I read this at? Because it's blowing the hell out their mind that it didn't come from the white man, or some nigga who sat up here and read writing about Egyptology, or trying to figure out something about metaphysics, or he trying to sound deep and heavy, or somebody that's running around here copying off of Dr. York. Trying to and talking about they coming with some new knowledge. You understand? When they telling lies. Nothing we saying coming from none of that. We moving forward. So, who are the people that will move into the future? Your bright race will move into the future. All of this, what we went through, was for the evolution of our people, from out of the black race. All right? So, we've come to the end of our broadcast. We got about 2 minutes left in this broadcast. Please do not call in, because that's about it. Well, you know what? 423, I'm going to take your call. Make it brief, please. 423.
Yo, man, I just wanted to, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, man, I enjoy the show, and I've been listening to you. I hadn't been on the blog thing for a minute, but you speaking truth. It is happening. That 9 that you're talking about, it's like a circle and a 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're finna come up out the circle, and it's happening, man. And, it's just, and it's proof of that was what happened recently. You know what I'm saying? So it is happening, and when you speaking of coming up out the ashes, and that's what it's all about, coming up out the ashes. They didn't give us these dates and give us these, for nothing. So it is happening. And they really don't know what to do.
Well, the separation came with the 10 after the number 9, and 9 was the highest. But when the new dynamic came in of the separation of the 10, you know what I'm saying? Because it takes 4 decades for a new messenger to come. When that 10 happened, and the word 10 uses the word N, which means Lord, right, from the ancient Sumerian, going right back to that. Whenever you hear that word N, that proves that this is the separation of the people that are going to move on the linear path, the special people, versus the people that are going to keep moving in a rotation. Your revolutionary people. That's your naturals and your unnaturals. Your supernaturals are going to move in a linear path.
Right. And what made me hit that one, man, when you said that 40. When you said that 40, I was like, I can't hold back no more. I gotta just let this brother know that, what he's speaking is truth, and let the people know that you're speaking truth. You know what I'm saying? So I had that other number, but we misplaced the phone around here, so one of the phones got lost.
We about to go out, brother. It's about to go out. So we ain't got no more time. Thanks for calling in. I'm not even playing the music. We out of here. State of Intel Radio. State of Intel Radio. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkarwez. We don't talk this time out. Join us Friday. We out of here. Good night.